The early church had one commission: the conversion of sinners. And as the apostles went out to preach the gospel to the nations for the first time in the book of Acts, the 15th chapter, they came back to report what was happening. And we read in chapter 15 of Acts and verse 3 that Paul and Barnabas came to the brethren in Jerusalem, and verse 3 says, "Therefore, being sent on their way by the church, they were passing through both Phoenicia and Samaria, describing in detail the conversion of the Gentiles, and were bringing great joy to all the brethren." When they came back to give a mission report, they were describing the conversion of Gentiles. Down in verse 19 of the same chapter, "Therefore it is my judgment that we do not trouble those who are turning to God from among the Gentiles." They went out into the Gentile nations who had no understanding of Christian truth, who had for the most part no understanding of the Old Testament, which was the only existing scripture, no understanding of the gospel. They confronted them in their lostness and their sin for the very purpose of conversion. An illustration of that occurred, for example, in the city of Thessalonica. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 1, we read this. Verse 9, "For they themselves report about us what kind of a reception we had with you," that is, with the people in Thessalonica, "and how you turned to God from idols to serve a living and true God and to wait for his Son from heaven, whom he raised from the dead, that is Jesus, who rescues us from the wrath to come." Paul went to Thessalonica. He preached the gospel. They turned to God from idols and thereby were rescued from eternal damnation and wrath. That is what the church does in the world. Sadly, there's so much confusion about the purpose of the church because so many churches are false churches. They're fraudulent. They don't stick with the mission. Many of them don't seem to care about it. There are plenty of churches that are ordaining people who need to be converted before they get ordained.